feeling so small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall. But tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes.
Hi, I'm back. I know it's been a long time and I was supposed to do Vlogtober, but our lives got a little bit complicated. We did an emergency move from our old house and moved in with Nick's grandpa Mike, who has been really nice to let us stay here with all our kitties. You see one little kitty butt right there. And it's obviously taken some time to move in and set everything up. Nick made a tiki room out of the sunroom we have outside of our bedroom, which is totally badass and amazing. I gotta show you guys. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever think that we were gonna have a tiki room, but here we are, and it's amazing. But I want to continue from where we left off and continue making videos about California and Sweden and historical things and everything that has to do with the two different places. So today's topic is going to be weird things that Americans do that almost nobody else does. And I just want to make sure that you know, yes, this is going to be a critical video, obviously, where I bring up some negative points, but I absolutely love this country and I absolutely love Sweden for two completely different reasons. They both have their pros and cons. It's just that today we're just going to focus on the cons. One thing that I know a lot of people complain about in these sort of videos all over YouTube is the same thing that I'm going to complain about, is to give someone a tip. No matter if it's your hairdresser, no matter if you go to a restaurant, anything that's like a service to you, anyone who performs a sort of a service, you're supposed to give them a tip. And honestly, to this day, like I moved to the United States in 2014, I took a 1-year break, and so in total I lived it for like 6 years, right? I'm still so awkward about tipping my hairdresser because I don't know how much to give, and I always forget to bring cash, and so if they don't charge me, you know, any tip like on the card, then I get confused and overwhelmed. It's so awkward. At restaurants it's a little easier. They usually write the amount that you know the food was, and then they add, if you want to add 10% of tip, then this is the amount you're supposed to give. If you want to add 15%, this is how much you're supposed to give us. That makes it a little easier. You just have to sign the receipt with how much money you want them to take from the card. But it's awkward. Like the waitress who was like giving you your food and giving you service is gonna see the amount when she takes the receipt. So it's like, if you really didn't like it, and like, it's just, it's uncomfortable. I don't want to judge you. I don't want to go to a restaurant to judge someone and decide how much their work is worth. That's your your boss's job. Like, I don't want to do it. And so I think that in Sweden, you know, that system makes a little more sense. It makes sense that the boss gives you your pay that you have earned because you worked hard. You shouldn't have to like beg for money. Speaking of going to a restaurant, this is also one thing I don't understand, is when you split the bill evenly. What? Like, if I go to a restaurant in Sweden, then I pay for myself and my friend pays for them. Like, I don't understand why we need to pay for each other. Basically, what happens is that if you're a big group of people that go to a restaurant in America, then the waiter is going to ask you, so would you like to pay separately or would you like to split the bill evenly? And it's like, okay, but like I've ended up in so many situations where I eat pasta with cheese sauce, like pasta alfredo, right? With no chicken, by the way, no meat, because I'm a vegetarian. So I bought pasta with cheese. That's supposed to be very cheap. It's already expensive as it is to buy that at a restaurant. And then a friend of mine has like a steak and they want to split the bill with me. I'm like, no. But that makes it uncomfortable. Once again, you mix money together in the situation and it becomes weird. I don't have cable TV because I cannot stand it anymore. The amount of prescription drugs that are promoted on American TV is honestly bizarre. It's bizarre. Isn't your doctor supposed to tell you what drugs to take or medications to take, right? Like, why are you trying to manipulate me through commercials on TV where you tell me all the stuff that I need to take to feel better because of this and that problem. And then not only is that bad enough that you just want to make money off of me, but also you legally have to tell the viewers all the stuff that can go wrong when you take this medication. So it feels like a complete waste of time to have prescription drugs commercials on TV, because first of all, you try to get me to take it, and then you list everything that could like kill me basically if I take this. Like, you may experience diarrhea, you may have a bloody stool, you may get cancer from this drug, and please talk to your doctor before you take it because you might also get a fever, you might die, you might get this, you might get that. Literally lists, long lists, which normally if you look at things like, you know, like Advil or whatever, like there's always warnings, right? On Swedish medications as well, there's always a warning that this and that could happen. It just feels ridiculous. Stop with the prescription drug like that's drives me crazy. Now, using the imperial system instead of the metric system, I'm gonna explain why this is stupid. Okay. let me take my measuring tape here and explain. I have like the metric system here, I have the imperial system here. So these are inches. Let me see. So I learned recently, finally after all these years, because I just don't have the patience to learn these things. 1 foot is 12 inches. Okay? That's a weird, uneven number to me. Like, if someone asks me how tall I am in the US, I say 5'9", because that's 5 feet and 9 inches. That is a very random and odd number. Do you want to know how we do it in Sweden? To make it very easy, this is 10 centimeters. That's also 1 decimeter. And all those little lines that you see on the side there, those are millimeters. So on 10 centimeters, we have 100 millimeters. Easy, right? 20 centimeters is 2 decimeters, and 200 millimeters. It's like 10, 10, 10, 100, 100, 100. Like that's all it is. And then 1 meter goes here. 100 centimeters. 1 meter. Duh. Make it easy for yourselves. Why are you making it so hard? So then to explain how tall I am in Swedish, I say I'm 1 meter and 75 centimeters. So here's 1 meter, or I could say I'm 175 centimeters. Very easy, straightforward, straight ahead, and just... I don't even know how many things I've complained about at this point, but let's keep going. Just having so much fun complaining about stuff. Constant commercials. This is also one reason why I can't watch cable TV. We have Netflix, we have YouTube, we have HBO, we have Hulu, all that stuff. No ads, can't stand them. Oh my god, I remember when I first moved here, I was an au pair in Chicago, and the first week the family was actually out of town. Like, they said hello and then they left for a few days. It's kind of weird, like they left a stranger in their home, but okay, at least I wasn't a bad person. So I was watching TV by myself, and I think I was watching like a Dr. Phil episode, and you know how at the end of those sort of like talk shows, the host always ends up like with a little speech at the end, wrapping it all up. Well, they had to do a commercial break before that little like 1 minute speech where Dr. Phil was like, all right everybody, well, this was an interesting show, you know, Carl, I wish you the best, and Gina, you know, work on this and that, and thank you everyone for watching, see you next time, bye bye. That was my terrible Dr. Phil impression. So, and then like that's it. I sat a whole commercial waiting for that moment to happen. I was like, oh my god, this is useless, there's no point, you just wasted my life, how dare you. I can't do it. But you know what makes me upset too is that in Sweden they actually implemented this a little bit. Like when I was there in 2016, I took a year off to be home, and I noticed that instead of having 2 commercial breaks on a 1-hour show, they now had 3 commercial breaks. And oh my god, please don't tell me that you guys have 4 commercial breaks there now. Taxes, or sales tax, I guess it's called, I don't know. But when you go shopping, you have to include the tax. Like, you look at the price, like let's say you want to buy a sweater and it says it's $20. Then you have to also remember there's going to be a few dollars extra there on top of that price, which is so annoying. Don't make me do math. I hate math. I just want to shop. You're ruining all the fun by adding math to the equation. Like in Sweden, If it says that the shirt costs, you know, $20, then it's $20, or kronor, as you would say in Swedish, obviously. I'm sure I would still buy the sweater or the shirt if like it costs $2 more. It said so on the tag, just because the taxes were already included. I'm sure I would still buy it. So don't worry about it. Just give me the actual price so that when I get to the checkout, I don't have to worry like, what are these 5 items or 10 items gonna cost altogether? I have no idea, because I suck at math. The healthcare system. Not the hospitals. I love the hospitals. They're actually really good. They got good doctors. But the healthcare system obviously is a problem. I just think that in America, there's this idea that you have to have your healthcare connected either to your job or that you have to pay for it. So either you have to pay the super expensive amount every single month, which is not fair because a lot of people cannot afford that. A lot of people can't afford to buy healthcare. Hey, be nice. Cats. I certainly couldn't afford to pay healthcare for me and Nick, like a healthcare insurance. And so what you gotta do is to find a job that gives you enough of a good healthcare. And the problem is that the jobs that nobody really wants, like becoming a cleaner or I don't even know what there's so many jobs, right? Like working at the grocery store. A lot of those jobs don't have that good healthcare coverage. Like they have some, but usually it's not that great and it sucks. Like why should you have to pay more money for healthcare because you're doing a job that nobody else wants to do? It's not fair that just because you're rich or you have a higher level of education that you should get better healthcare if you get sick. It doesn't mean that you work harder just because you work at Google or just because you're a manager of something. It does not mean anything. You work just as hard if you work at a grocery store. That was my little rant. I'm sorry if it was very long, but I think there's some really important points in there that need to be pointed out. Not every country is perfect. No country is perfect. Sweden's not perfect. America's not perfect. And these certain points just make me, just grinds my gears. So, is there anything that grinds your gears about America or Sweden? Doesn't matter which one, you can leave your comment below. And I'll see you next time.